everybody, and welcome to Red Wings Rant, where tirades and impassioned pleas for your Detroit Red Wings. They finally have a home.
Yeah! We got a home for them right here.
Right here.
Yeah.
Right here. Right now.
Yeah.
Right here. Right now. Right
Oh,
here.
man, the comments are already coming in. Everybody, bear with
Everybody's
me today.
excited to talk Red Wing hockey.
The big playoff push.
Weekend.
And apologies ahead of time. We finally finished the work in my office after the water burst in here and destroyed all my stuff. But the soundproofing's not in here. So if you hear an echo, that's a creative choice. That's not us not soundproofing the room yet. But the comments are already coming in hot, Matt, with March finally behind us. Performance are with an early bid for a comment of the episode saying, the reason this team keeps falling and failing every spring is pretty clear with Larkin's post-game interview last night. He looked like he was going to cry. This is a problem. We need new leadership. Matt, I think we're probably going to talk about that in a moment, but we got Brian here saying, hey, Red Rods, Ken, welcome aboard, bud. Lamau's Dong. That's a pleasant name, saying trade Larkin and fire Yzerman in all caps.
Here you go.
Yeah, let's get him. And then Dan B trying to kind of bring it home here, saying, Mom said if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything. So I'll watch in silence. Dan, I'll be very proud of you. And we are too. Matt?
Well, we're not proud. We're not proud of our Red Wings right now.
No.
Let me see if I can produce this thing while I talk. It's official, Mike. We had an episode a month ago. Talked about is the March disaster on its way. We had, you know what? We had some chirps. We had some chirps on TikTok, Instagram, folks telling us, calm down. You don't know what you're talking about. You guys don't know puck. And we saw it, Mike. We saw it. It was there. There were the hints, there were the nods that this was going to happen. We started to see not just the way, not just the results, but it was the way it went down. A lot, these games of us blowing these third period leads. It was the opposite of magic, and it hurt. But we're here now, and I don't mean to make this sound like I'm gloating or anything, but I'm certainly that's what one could pull that from these first few sentences on my part. But look, we don't start off negative because we want to be negative. We want to win. Mike, I've watched more Detroit Pistons basketball in my entire life.
Oh.
This season.
Oh, okay, this season. All right. I was curious where that sentence was going.
Because I like to watch them win.
I enjoy their losses more than Red Wing victories. I'm going to be honest. Because even in losses where they're overmatched, that's still like the most fight I've seen out of a Detroit sports team in, dare I say, 22 years. So,
and you've got a Detroit Pistons team that actually executed getting a push-off call on SGA. So it's the first of its kind in NBA history. Lot to celebrate, even in the losses. But for the Wingdings,
I think as Lamau's Dong, I'm gonna figure out what that actually is. That it's probably gonna make me sound really dumb. Just in all caps thrown out there. McLellan looks fed up when talking about the team. Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
But we got
how many more times do we have to talk about McLellan feeling like he has a blueprint for how to play and win hockey games, and he's going out there without any talent and without the right leadership.
I can't wait to get to the last line of this slide deck. It's going to be a continuation of a pattern we've been running for 5 weeks, but Andrew Kopp took it over for us. I can't wait to get there, Mike. But Brian throws out there, we want to win. The team just does not. And that's why we keep coming back, Mike. That's why I come back for all this pain. Performance Art says, go Raptors.
Hey, they could have used your support because they got crushed, even though the Pistons were missing their all-NBA point guard. So, yeah.
I did like The Athletic. They're still picking the Pistons and make it to round. So we're extending make it to round 2. We're extending the possibility that Kate will come back and help us. A couple of soft little bits of news here, Mike. Carter Mazer, we saw him play last night. He gets his call up. Of course, we all remember a year ago when he got the call up and his knee blew up. That was heartbreaking. Anton Johansson coming aboard, hoping to solve some of, I don't know, in the future, some of our defensive woes that we'll also get into as we go through this episode. Nice to see him getting the chance again with Grand Rapids. Had a pretty good showing last year. And Trey Augustine eliminated from the NCAA tourney. So he is in Grand Rapids.
Oh, man.
And he's going to be supporting Sebastian Cossa, who refuses to get called up and support this tired old goaltending tandem. You gotta keep Cossa in Grand Rapids. It's all about the minor leagues, Mike. Anyway, okay, I'm not going to lean on that too hard, but anyway, the soft fluffy news: Trey Augustine is now going to be with Cossa and getting his first chance at some professional hockey.
I hope that I guess hope. I don't even want to start with that word. I'm curious to see if this ends up Augustine gets called up before Cossa.
I kind of thought that was going to happen. I kind of thought the ELC was going to get signed and they were going to give Trey a chance, especially with how tired Gibson looks. Talbot does not look like he's ready for prime time right now. He has to be sporting a horrible injury right now. But I thought there was a chance, but we did not get it. But Mike, that's it for the soft and fluffy news. Because now here we go.
Oof. So we keep doing these shows. We've been doing them for years. My God. And it's basically copy and paste. The 2023 March, the 2024 March, the 2025 March, and now, thankfully behind us, arguably our best March in 4 years at 5-7-2. There's one thing that I'm glad somebody commented on it already, but I'm just going to call you Dong because I don't know what's going on with the first couple letters of this handle, but the comments are coming in pretty hot, and I like them. This is just me, folks, but we looked good in the games. Larkin did not play. I think he's saying example like versus the Devils, people playing harder and stepping up. Yeah, I don't know how much of that you want to dedicate that idea to this episode, but sometimes it does look like they play like they're waiting for Larkin to do something. And it felt like right when they were starting to figure out like a team-wide strategy and sense of urgency where there wasn't that one guy for them to lean on. I kind of agree with the Dong there. I kind of feel like we were right on the cusp of that. And then Larkin came back. No way he's at 100%, but it's not helping things.
Yeah, I think there's an element of that too, of the injury coming into play here. Not just that we need to lean on him. We know the minutes are going to get eaten up by whatever line that he's on. And being in this situation where your roster cannot sustain an injury or two all season, like you have to rush that guy back. There's nothing else to put in there. Now, to Dong's point, maybe we just keep rolling and go with a high effort game from guys who are gonna, know they need to come to play because you got to roll. There's no Larkin. You got to figure it out. Somebody's got to
if you want to
score.
If you want to name drop too, like in that stretch without Larkin, that's when we saw Kane's best game of the year. We saw Comfort playing out of his mind. Playing really well on the boards, winning a lot of faceoffs, helping generate offense for his line. And now that he's, kind of got his role reassigned, he's kind of gone back to the Comfort that we've known most of the season.
And you do have to kind of wonder, like, what is the assignment there? Like, what is the job of a Comfort when he's not centering DeBrincat and Kane? But I think a huge element here too that we talked about the last couple of weeks, but bringing bringing a Cop back, bringing a Larkin back who aren't 100%. I don't know how much you're benefiting from that. And it clearly rounding out the 5-7-2 for the month of March, and like you've got some, you've rolled through some pretty soft games here this last month too, and you've sort of embarrassed yourselves a couple of times. Like, we know this team isn't 5-1 to Pittsburgh bad, so there's, it's got to be a multitude of issues here where we're talking about mental issues. McLellan brought up in his post-game press conference, we know he's been talking about the will and heart of his team. Started with game 1 of this year. After you go down to Montreal, he's like, enough's enough. When are you going to turn this around? But it was in the Pittsburgh game where he brought up skill and technique were his words. And it's like, well, shoot. All right. Well, we got injured guys. We don't have the will. We don't have the technique, and we don't have the skill. And one might argue or remember, Mike, our favorite quote of the year from Todd McLellan, when he mentioned his team isn't able to do the second piece of a puzzle. They grab the first piece, boom. You can set that sucker down. You know what that is? That was lacing up your skates, hitting the ice after getting your hockey pants on. They can do that part. It's the second puzzle piece is where Todd's, I would say, I wish it was more infamous. It's that second puzzle piece they really struggle with. But I add all those together. He's pretty much saying there's nothing here for me right now to work with. And it's a scary thought. And it's not to say that that's always an issue, like while the team's healthy, but certainly I think I would add in some of the issues here of clear injuries that are dragging these guys down into the abyss from a shot performance, from a puck possession standpoint. Injuries and mental wear just destroyed this team for the month of March.
So I know we get, and we still got a lot of comments flooding in here. And the sober heathen thrown out there. This team was playing better when Larkin was out. The captain is the problem. And it's, I don't know if I do want to acknowledge that it does look like the team is kind of waiting for him to do something. Or is it that he's getting a lot of chances and a lot of opportunity and a lot of ice time and he's not at 100%? So when you're relying on a guy who's not at 100%, it just looks worse. So it's not that he doesn't care. I think he doesn't want to feel like he's got to, maybe read or hear, whispers of, when are you going to come back? Like, this team needs you. It's hockey. Like, get on the ice. So he's not in a great spot, right? I think he got rushed back, but I think he's trying to prove he's a hockey player, and then he's trying to prove he's the captain. But it's just not. He's not in a. It's a lose-lose position for him. So I do think that point is worth acknowledging, that he's not 100%. Sneezy, welcome back, bud. Saying, hey, we brought in Perron. The locker room should be awesome. Thanks, Sneezy. And then Performance Art kind of echoing the sentiment there that Perron he's been less than stellar.
I think he said less than useless.
There was one more I was going to throw out there. I think it was Carmen. Yeah, Carmen was saying and I'm bringing this up, Carmen, because I texted Matt and I think our dad that I'm really excited to buy a Soderblom Penguin jersey. But basically just saying Soda plays soft here, goes to the Pens, and he's chucking knucks. What's with this locker room where guys don't want to lay it on the line? Sometimes they do. Sometimes. Right? I can't tell you enough, Carmen, how much it warmed my heart to think of that 2-0 Avalanche game that we had. And lest we forget, we just beat Buffalo on the road, 5-2. And I know that McLellan, kind of downplayed that comeback against Philadelphia. And he's right. the Flyers did let the foot off the gas a little bit, but 3 goals in like 3 minutes is still incredibly difficult, and they were right on the cusp of getting a 4th one. So it's like this team is so frustrating, Matt, because if we back up and just look at March as a whole, like cool, we started out, we beat Nashville, went to overtime against the Knights. Maybe could have had that one. Florida, that was kind of a stinker. The Devils, we won 3-0. The Florida rematch, was that the one we were up 3-2 and we ended up losing 4-3?
Yeah.
Tampa was a stinker, so we do have 2 stinkers. Dallas kind of, the hockey gods evened things out with Florida, so we still got a point out of that one. Calgary, we destroyed. Montreal, huge game. We won that. Boston, I don't really know what to do with that one. We had, the lead twice, and then we ended up losing 4-2. The Ottawa game, you only lose by a goal. The complete shellacking of Buffalo that made you, think that there's some hope. And then the falling apart against Philadelphia. And then easily the worst game of the month to close out the month was the Pittsburgh game. So it's like, it's not as if March was, 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It wasn't like, 15 games where we just get shellacked 5-1 every game. There was objective games, like outcomes where you can point to, hey, these guys are actually trying. They do realize what's on the line. I'm not completely wasting my time or my money on this FanDuel app. Well, you are wasting your money on the FanDuel app if you're like me and you paid for it for the year and they're going bankrupt. But I guess, Matt, what I would want to ask you, I know this show gets accused of being negative a lot, deservedly so, because usually we're just reporting and reflecting on recent outcomes. But is there a glass half full look or approach to this month, knowing that we had injuries to 2 of maybe our most important players in your first and second line center? You're right there for a lot of those games, and you only got completely destroyed 3 times out of about 15 games. Does that give you any feel like, all right, I'm still going to be there in April. I'm still going to feel like, okay, this weird ghost month is over. I've seen this team give effort. I've seen them, have a couple comebacks here. I've seen them beat good teams on the road. Is there a little bit of an inkling of, okay, let's just hard reset, new month. We're going to pretend this didn't happen, and we're going to make this playoff run real. We're going to do it.
I hate that you're setting me up for this, because I've been thinking about what I'm about to bring up all day today, and I was like searching online, but I'll start with an example here. And the answer, unfortunately, is no. Because you're talking about how many instances here have we faced a goaltender that it's resulted in some of the games you mentioned, pretty close game. But also we've been facing some pretty crappy goaltending this last month, and we've made it look formidable. Mention the Senators games, a couple goals against Ullmark when he's very clearly struggling right now with Ottawa. Speaking of the word shellacked, just go back, look at past results on NHL.com. He didn't have a great night. He was not in it against Florida. So that happened. I brought up the example here now. This Stuart Skinner gets traded away from Edmonton. There's so much drama there. He's an .880 save percentage this season, turns into .957 against us last night. And unless we forget, let's not even talk about Ullmark, but how about when the Red Wings were facing Ottawa, who's down 2 defensemen, and we couldn't find those higher danger chances that ultimately would result in a higher scoring game. Did we only end up? Yeah, we lose 3-2 to Ottawa, and they're a point where they are at their most weak. We really could have gotten to them, but there's been examples like that throughout this entire month. Last I failed to mention this has been the talking point for our show for the last week, of course, going back to like social media, but we've been one of the worst shooting percentage teams in the NHL. Going back to our 5-on-5 play, struggles mightily to not only put chances on net, but then to actually put them in the back of the net. Right now, between January 26th and today, April 1st, we are the worst 5-on-5 shooting team. The worst. It's dropped a little bit. I think I put together a new slide. That's somewhere in here. We'll just keep talking. Let's just keep talking. But it is so hard for me to look at this roster, know how many guys, as we're being told, are being held together by gum and shoelaces and Band-Aids. And, you know, I don't think we came into this season thinking this is going to be a world beater. So to take a roster that's already rightly damaged, hurting, and has been depending on, I don't know, close to perfect goaltending to the point where Gibson starts getting called out for potentially being in the Vezina race. And when you don't get that, and you're still getting good goaltending, but it just feels impossible to find a win. Like, I don't know. It kind of felt like it was smoke and mirrors with Gibson playing so well and how many times we had to have the conversation about how bad the 5-on-5 play is. But then, like, if the power play is not at the top of the league, and I mean number one, and Gibson's clearly overplayed right now, like, what hope is there outside of just blind, like, faith that it's April 1st and we are going to turn it around? When, Mike, I've got a string of slides here that's basically labeled as, is it just March? Because it's been a little bit here. It's a little consistent, which we can get into at any point. But I hope nobody was like waiting for the answer to be like, yeah, Mike, there's still hope. You know, the hope essentially is just that this schedule to end the season, it's not that bad. You got the Rangers coming up on Saturday. You know, the Flyers are nipping at your heels, but that's a game I'd like to have in my last 8 games, and you got it twice. Then you got a Tampa game that's probably going to be them saying, good luck, Detroit. Well, you know, we don't care about this game. You got a Florida game to end the season that who knows if they'll still care. They've been trying to tank. Of course, they still beat us. And then you got a Devils game in there too.
I do want to react. I do want to react to that. I just don't want to skip a few of our comments here. The Heathen, you always cook, bud. I'm always glad when you're a part of the show. Just saying, after losing that Ottawa game,
everybody's here.
Pardon?
No, I said I'm glad when everybody's here.
Yeah, the Heathen thrown out there after losing to Ottawa, and that was the game where they were missing. Was it basically their Sider and their Edvinsson?
Yes.
I never want to hear an injury excuse ever again. That's a fair point. Yeah, it was pretty fair. And then thrown out there, he's Larkin being a weak leader. That does seem to be the narrative in the past couple days. That he's not a demonstrative person. It's not his personality, not his fault, in my opinion. He could be better, but again, I don't know how to smoke him for this because he's not playing at 100%. So I still think he's in a lose-lose situation where we either give him grief for not being there in big moments or he's playing injured. So I think for him, he'd rather in his heart of hearts, like, at least leave it on the ice rather than leaving it in the press box. Whiskey, always happy to see you, bud. Saying, called it the second the trade deadline ended. The team got old and slow. Injuries aside, the team can't keep up with the pace of play. Whiskey, I think that was most evident in that Boston game where it felt like, you know, it was the turtle and the rabbit, but Rabbit knew how to put pucks in the net. That was it was a very sobering game for me. That kind of jumps out.
This
Jared,
one is.
Oh, go ahead.
Sober also threw out there that Buffalo game means nothing when you get pumped in 4 out of 5. Could be pummeled. I throw out there too, guys. Don't forget what that shot chart looked like in that game. That was a deserve to win a meter game for Buffalo to the nth degree. That
that's
Buffalo
fair.
controlled that game. That was their game.
Jared always throwing out a really good bid for comment of the episode saying, sorry I'm late, was watching the Artemis 2 launch. 4 astronauts to the Red Wings playoff hopes, heading to the moon. And then Dixon, welcome, bud. Good to see you. And then Whiskey saying, instead of talent, Stevie traded away youth and potential future talent for an old washed forward, yell in the locker room in broken French and English. I think we can also say a guy just regular old English, because I think we regret that defenseman trade too, Whiskey. So I would probably put both of those in there. Performance art saying Gibby's drop off a mountainside. I think his performance has. I think Matt's. It's always a better show when the two hosts agree with each other, but it does look like Gibby's exhausted. And he doesn't even. To me, he doesn't even look bad. He just looks mortal now. It's not like I'm ready to give up on him or trade him away. I know he's good. I know he's also exhausted. So
yeah, he went from that. That was where it was like he went from 94% down to 91%, and like the league average is at a little under 900 right now. So he's still at above average performance, but it's like, oh, you didn't go God mode? Well, great, because we can't get anything past this unbeatable iron wall that is the Ottawa Senators defensive core a couple days ago. So I don't know. I got to calm down. You're going through the comments.
We got a few more. Yeah, they're really coming in hot today. Jason, good to see you, bud. GLJ saying Larkin, Cat, Raymond, Kane. Those are your offensive threats. If teams spend all season beating Larks and Raymond into the ice, what does that leave you with? Leaves you with a March that is 5-7-2. And then no name saying Larkin 5-on-5 is the captain of the struggle bus. You know what's tough too is that he actually is a good defensive forward. Like, I don't mind when he's the matchup against the other team's best line. But again, we're looking at Larkin at, he's number 71. He's probably at 71% right now. Dixon saying there's a little Larkin defense out there. Larkin's a sick player. We need to offload before he dupes. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Somebody on social media this past week challenged us, right? So last week we played that game of like, how many teams do the Red Wings have more double-digit goal scorers? Of course, right. The reason being we asked that question where it's like, all right, you need like actual goal scorers on your team. You don't just want to have this long list of singles across the team. But we're looking for those double-digit goal scorers, right? And it's just you're down and out when it comes to that conversation. But I don't think the answer is like more depth. I think the answer is more at the top. And I feel like what we need to do is push everybody down. And I think that's a hockey team. We need another top tier talent that's going to push this every single line that's structured here down a peg. So Larkin has a place. It's just not being the be all end all. We lose if you don't get us on the board player.
I think that's like, I didn't react at first to what you'd said earlier, and I wanted to hit a few of the comments. And then I think people were, kind of getting to the kernel of the idea of what I wanted to just touch base on. So we know that March is over. Thank God. Looking ahead to this April schedule, they're not the most unwinnable games on your schedule, right? And they're also against teams that you can directly negatively impact people above you and below you and elevate yourself into a playoff spot. So it's a bunch of opportunities.
You have one of those very clearly against the Blue Jackets. I feel like if you took a look at this schedule like you have to consider the Flyers are beneath you, even though they're playing really well right now. They're playing better than you. They just beat you, but you have to consider them beneath you. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games out of these last 8 against teams that are beneath you in the standings, right? Or did I just miscounted? Oh no, the Blue Jackets. That's right. That's so then your 3 are the Wild, the Blue Jackets, and the Lightning. And I'd still come back and say, I don't think the Lightning are going to care by April 13th.
It would be surprising if they cared. No, I guess, do you guys think that this is the last stand for this iteration of the team? For like these pillars of this era, you know, the Larkins, the Raymonds, the DeBrinkets, you know. Obviously, the easiest scapegoat is Larkin because he's got the C on his jersey. He's not playing super great right now. But if we do this again, does it mean we're moving those kind of guys? Or is there some magic scenario where I know we turned down a Quinn Hughes trade this season, but maybe we find some other superstar that's marginally available? I mean, like, this is the litmus. Like, Steve, if this doesn't work, you have to make like wholesale changes at this point, right?
Yeah.
You have to.
And it's funny.
I can't believe that we're gonna basically like keep almost the same roster and then just hope like, the Carters make it in Mazur and Bear. Like that's our plan.
So I wanted to bring up a couple of things here.
Is this the last dance for ineptitude? I really like that Netflix special too.
I would bring up the comparison right now of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And it's funny to look at the two teams and their track these last Yzerplan years. And to just see a team that's like, hey, we got, we kept trying. We kept getting to the first round. It's just not working. It's not working. We got to get rid of the GM, which everybody agrees. Like, I'm not talking about controversial moves here. But everyone in Toronto is like, yeah, that's right. This isn't working. We even got to consider trading Austin Matthews. But for some reason, we're convinced in Detroit that is not an option. Like I shouldn't say we. There's like a group of folks where it's like, no, there's a long-term plan here. And it would be wild, absolutely insane if the Toronto Maple Leafs after this season were like, no, we have our core. We are going to stay full steam ahead. Keep Austin Matthews. We just got to add to this team, and then we'll finally be ready to make it past the second round. And they're not doing that. That's not the decision they're making. They're making their GM changes. They're making their coaching changes. The rumors are out there that team's getting blown up. But in Detroit, Mike, there's a group of folks. I opened up X, made me angry last night. Open it up just for a couple of seconds. And I have to see the folks that are like, you just don't understand how long it takes to build a franchise. You have no idea. It takes longer than 7 years, Mike. Toronto should hold on. They got to hold on to all that whole group. Keep it going. Now, that's not what they're saying. They're convinced that there's a plan here that eventually will see its way through. But I just think it's wild that there's these two franchises in Toronto and Detroit. One of them just went year after year with a core, going all in with all their draft picks and prospects. Couldn't crack the second round. And here we are, can't crack a playoff spot. But there's a plan. You can't mess with the roster. Now, I would say the problem is that we don't have enough top-tier talent. And I can't say it again. We say it every episode. We say it every season. We need more top-tier talent. I don't want depth. I don't want another middle six guy. I don't care about the bottom four pairings. You see what happens when we get Justin Falk in here? We overpay. Max, Talking to you, Max Bultman. Gotta get Justin Falk.
Huge move.
That is not what we need. We need top tier talent. Mike, Moritz Seider is the answer. He is our best defenseman. He's also sporting like a 4% shooting percentage. Am I asking him to score goals? No. But in the same breath, every single person in his ear is saying, you got to shoot the puck more, Mo. That was the big thing. Oh, Nicholas Lidstrom talked to Moritz Seider. Told him he's got to shoot the puck more. I need guys that can put the puck in the back of the net. I'm sorry. And right now, I don't have enough on this team. I've got an Alex DeBrincat that's been bouncing around this league because nobody really looks at Alex DeBrincat and says, that's your guy to get you to the Stanley Cup Finals. I love Alex DeBrincat. It's not enough. You need more scoring elite talent here. It's not enough.
I don't really know how to push back on that. I think just talking about this April, was it 7 or 8 games we got left? 7?
8.
I don't know what else we can really tell Steve. If
he better
this is it, this is it, man. I mean, you got Columbus, you got those Flyer games, you get some jabroni games against the Devils and the Rangers. I'll give you Minnesota is probably still playing for standings, but you're gonna have Tampa not giving a hoot. Florida should not be giving a hoot. You should be playing for your life right now. If you blow it in April, what are we doing? I mean, that has to be an indication that maybe all of us in this group chat and the two of us don't understand puck, and to move Larkin would be insanity because of what he means to what you think is Red Wing culture, what he means to that locker room. Okay. You can't nickel and dime this anymore. Like, you have to understand we lose to teams that are faster and more skilled than us, and they're better at defending. The only way you're going to do that is with something risky. I don't think that this slow, protracted, pragmatic approach is working. And you know what I have as evidence? Year 7 of not feeling close. So I really hope that Yzerman is taking this last month. I don't want to Al Gore this, but super ethereal. Because if you fail again with this group, like, what are you going to tell us in the offseason? Because we know that it's not going to be free agency. We know that path doesn't work. We know you don't have a first-round pick this year. Even if you did, that would be somebody we're not seeing for 4 years. Maybe Augustine comes up here. That's nice. Unfortunately, he doesn't score any goals. He's a goalie. He's actually the farthest away from scoring goals. So I'm very excited for you that you have 2 goalie prospects. That's very neat. We only need 1 goalie at a time. Gibson is not that bad. We've seen stretches of him arguably being the best goalie in the whole league. That's pretty cool. But unfortunately, you're going to have to do something scary and risky, and you're going to have to give up some stuff to get something really good. I don't know how else to put this, Steve, because I don't know what you're supposed to keep telling the fan base. I'm done. I'm not buying tickets anymore. There's no reason for me to. I don't need to buy.
Fucking suck.
Thank you, Biff Biff. I'm happy in my Utah jersey. They're going to make the playoffs. I don't know if you saw that. They're right there. I have more faith in a Utah Mammoth than I do in a Detroit Red Wing.
Well, we're going to do this real quick. Let's knock this out. We're going to do everybody's favorite part of the show. We're going to knock out this ad, and then we'll come back, and we have even more to discuss.
Oh, no. All right, let's go.
Spinoramas, Michigan goals, and those heart attack Cam Talbot sprawls across the crease. If you're living and dying with every Red Wings highlight like we are, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered. They're an official sports betting partner of the NHL, and they're making the action even sweeter. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll score $200 in bonus bets instantly. Yes, the same feeling as watching Lucas Raymond pick a corner, but for your wallet. So do what we do every game night. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-7897-777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, pass-through of per wager. Tax may apply. In Illinois, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright NHL 2025. All rights reserved.
I do want to get back to our points, but I got to hit a few of these comments. First, you throwing out there whiskey. The Blackhawks have like 4 top 5 picks on the way to play with Bedard. We've got a bunch of middle 6 grinders. Man, those two-way forwards, huh? So it's not good enough of a goal scorer to, be like a forward, and not a good enough defender to be on defense. But man, just right in that middle area. How about that? We have a bunch of middle 6 grinders who might score 30 points in the NHL one day. You know what, Whiskey? If I have to read one more effing article about, man, he's like half a point a game. You put him out there for 80, he's getting you 40 points. You're going to love him. Half a point a game. Wow, incredible. Jared, as usual, just shooting from the logo, saying, I can define the Wings culture in one word: collapse. I love that word because it's I think it's technically 2 syllables, Jared. It's kind of 2.5 because that collapse, there's like the at the end. That's a real Red Wing falling flat on its face on the ice. Revs and Roddies, I'm throwing this out there, but I don't know if I agree with it. We beat teams that are faster and more skilled than us. We lose to teams that are slower and less skilled than us. Honestly, I don't know. I can't stop thinking about how much faster Boston looked than us and how much more seriously they took the game. And Pittsburgh, I know their best players are old, but they look so much better than us. Anyway, the dong, I did want to throw this out there because any comment that, Matt, you have your EP40, I got my Soderblom dong we're throwing out there. When you look at Elmer in Pittsburgh, Eichmann trading Elmer for Perron looks genius. Not. Ooh, did somebody watch Borat recently? I really like that one. Oh, Ken Gibson is checked out. Talbot retired. I don't know. I think Matt and I are going to push back on that. Just saying, Gibby, he looks exhausted from having to carry this. I hope he has a really good chiropractor because he's been carrying this team for months, and now I think his back is finally giving out.
Yeah, wasn't it like 3 straight games he left because of injury, and Talbot had to finish it off?
And then he still started the next game. Like, can you imagine that talk from McLellan? Dude, I'm sorry. You know what I got back there. You got to go out there again. Oh, come on, coach. My back's gone, dude. I'm a jellyfish out there. It's like, all right, I guess we'll take the L. And poor Gibby's like, all right, give me my GD helmet. I'll get out there. Let me see here. No name. Ooh. Positivity. No name. Is that Blake's account? Because I just saw you say Iceman will be busy at the draft, can recoup the first rounder with a savvy move. No name. I got to say, if we're picking up first round picks, then we're not going to be good for the next 20 years. Can I say that?
Oh, man. That is
20 years if we're trying to pick up first round picks. You actually have to double down and trade even more first round picks. That is the only way to save this disaster.
Yeah.
Kick the can even further and again, miss the playoffs, but have enough average talent to be like the 10th best team, you got to double down, Steve. You got to double down.
Yeah, the answer is not more prospects down the line. This is we need help right now.
We're willing to move heaven and earth. Heaven and earth. Right now. Oh, no. Around the First says, this is depressing.
Sorry. Well, it's going to get worse.
You know what this is? Around the Fur is it's passion for this team. Like when Matt does that little tagline to start the show, impassioned pleas for your Detroit Red Wings. This isn't out of hate. This is negative love because we love this team so much and it breaks our hearts to see this same garbage every year. So Around the Fur, we're here for you, buddy. We're here for you. We understand you. We feel the same. We don't want to talk like this. We want to talk about playoff matchups. And man, look at Seider. Set a career high in goals. He got 20 of them as a defenseman. Look at that. And not his shooting percentage. Not Larkin looking like he needs to see the C stripped off his jersey and blowing up the whole team and starting all over again and trying to find some way to recoup a first-round pick. That is the last conversation I want to have. I hate this. I hate doing this every year, Matt. I hate it.
No Name has to redeem himself here. He was talking about his next comment was going to be about using the first rounder.
Okay. You totally redeem yourself. No Name's right back.
Yeah, no Name wasn't trying to hang on to a first round pick. But I do still, No Name, we hear you. I still love Jared's message though. Quinn Hughes is Quinn Hughes, but a draft pick is a draft pick that could even be Quinn Hughes one day. Could you imagine, Mike? If you actually drafted a guy who 5 years from now could be Quinn Hughes? What if 3 years from now, Simon Edvinsson sniffs?
I hate guaranteed sure things. I like wishes and maybes. Give me a shooting star any day. I don't want immediate satisfaction. I want a shooting star. Maybe.
Jim's bringing up one of the more unique points here on trading Larkin. He is injury prone. And it's not like his body's getting younger. Those injuries are not getting. It's aging, just like the rest of us. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, day by day, second by second, he's getting older. So it's not like these injuries that are piling up on every inch of his body are all of a sudden going to not be a problem. Like, take a look at that injury he sustained where his tire blew out and his knee was destroyed. There was nobody hitting him. His leg just completely collapsed on itself.
Before we go down the Larkin is injury prone rabbit hole, can we?
It's not called a those are facts.
Last year he played 82 games. The year before that, 68, which is still 3/4 of the season. Before that, 80, 71, and then he had the 44, which was we're starting to get into the COVID era. The year before that, he played 71 games. His number 71. So I think he just wanted to stop and not play 72. He would have to change his jersey number. We don't want to get into that.
We're talking about a guy that does also play injured a lot. He gets those 82 games, but he's hurt.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready for that narrative because it's hockey.
Brian says, hope. It's not a strategy to use, guys.
Hey, we've been using that for years, Brian. Look at us.
That's the only way to win. What are you talking about, Brian? Come on, we're Red Wings fans. All right.
I've
had a slide sitting up here.
We re-signed guys we drafted, and we hope and hope and hope.
We have a slide up here that I shared last week. I updated a little bit to make sure everybody knew we dropped down to 90.4 on our save percentage. We dropped to 6.29 on our shooting percentage. So now our PDO is 96.7. High danger didn't really change, but what did change, Mike, we are now 7-14 in our last 21. I don't know.
That was a good reaction burp. I appreciate that.
Thanks. Yeah. Now, one of the things with going 7-14 is that you get a lot of national news. I got a credit at Hockey Psycho. Somebody shared a video online. I took a peek at it on the drive home, and it highlighted a lot of things that we've been talking about all season. And a lot of that is the transition game. We've been talking about that for so long. It was one of the reasons that we were like, is Justin Falk the answer here? Was this the right move? Because it's a clear problem. So Mike, we did great on TikTok this week playing a game.
Okay.
Mike, I'm not going to remind everybody what that game was because a lot of people struggled to keep up with what the question was, including us. I feel like we struggled with it too. So
we love a good tangent.
One of the things that Hockey Psycho pointed out, along with us, saying that those transition numbers are a problem, he said one of the ways you can track that is the exit success rate. And Mike, I thought it would be fun for us to kind of go through and see if you could give me a guess here on. We have exit success rates from 69% down to 7%. Now these are Detroit Red Wing exit success rates so far this season, from 69 to 50 to 48 to 41 to 33 to 7. Mike,
Okay.
I was hoping. Go ahead, pull up the roster. Make sure you're not missing anybody. I know there is one name that is not featured on this list that I stole from Hockey Psycho, but I'll just let you know it's not great. It's also bad. And if you say that name, we'll toss it out there, and then we'll educate everybody on how bad that player is. But Mike, I think we'll start, if you want. For anybody who's listening again, I'll recap as we're going to have you guess the exit success rates. Mike, who's sporting a 69% exit success rate for the Detroit? Very nice success rate, by the way, for the Detroit Red Wings this year.
Fun fact, you guys, besides 69 being a great time, also a banned jersey number in the National Basketball Association, thanks to David Stern, who told Dennis Rodman, no, you can't have number 69. So now you guys also know that. So 69% could be no one but the German savant himself, Moritz Seider.
You got it.
Hey! All right, coming in at 50%. I'm going to give it to Mr. Quinn Hughes himself. Scratch that. Simon Edvinsson, 50%. Give me those coattails, baby. Oh, no!
Mike, here's where we'll start the conversation on. This is a very individual measured statistic.
Oh, see, I thought that somehow the numbers were a little staggered with some coattails. Man,
you'd think.
Give me Ben Sherratt.
Hey, there you go.
Bingo.
New contract himself, Ben Sherratt. Why is he sticking on the team? Because he can half the time successfully exit the zone.
You know what's funny is a lot of Red Wings could use a good exit right about now. So we got Seider number 1, 69. Sherratt number 2, 50%. Matt number 3,
48%.
Give me Mr. Extension himself, Bernard Docker.
Mike, this would be the gentleman who did not make the list.
Oh, his score was too high. They didn't let him play, huh? Okay.
And actually, he doesn't have enough time on ice to qualify.
Oh, I thought it was like a grandma's boy thing. He's like, oops, did I break it? Is that a high score? So Matt, at 48%, give me, let me go back to Simon the Pieman, 48. My back.
No.
But this, I'm confused. This is a guy who's better than Quinn Hughes. Okay. Well, Matt, that could be only one man then. The man whose name I've butchered on more than one occasion. His name is not Johan Albertson. It's actually Albert Johansson.
Mike, I'm going to need you to go back to the trade deadline.
Oh, no! Don't tell me it's Justin Falk.
It is Mr. Justin Falk.
Oh, no. 48%. Right. Man, it doesn't feel like it. It gets worse than this.
All right. So,
surely.
So far, you've got Seider, Sherratt, and Falk. And just for comparison's sake, I just want you to know, Seider's at 69%. Mike Quinn Hughes is at 96%. So it's not like this zone exit success rate is something where it's like, oh yeah, these numbers are just usually bad.
Oh, heavens. 90%. I thought you were going to say like league average was 58 and Sider was at 69.
Okay. Quinn sporting I'm sorry, it's flipped. It's a 96%. I apologize. Exit success rate 96%.
Ooh.
All right, so you want to go back to the well here for 41%?
Okay. Well, at 41%, he's better than Quinn Hughes. Give me Simon the Pieman Edvinsson. There we go.
You got it, Mike. All right. So now we got 33% and 7%. Obviously, there's an extra name on here where you're like, well, wait, if JBD's not on here, who the heck's on here?
Who the heck could that be? Matt at 33%. That's got to be Albert. Mr. Albert Johansson himself. Yes.
You got it.
Back. All right. That's a strange number to me. That feels low. Does that feel low to you?
Yeah. I mean, across the board, this is pretty low. You're talking about 6 defensemen here. 7, if you want to throw in JBD, whose numbers are also not great. Who cannot get the puck out of the zone. I mean, how many, it's too bad we don't have a JBD number here because he is infamous for our, 3-minute shifts in his own zone very clearly because he can't exit the zone. But Mike, he's not on this list.
Man, you talk about an endurance test. Being a Detroit Red Wing defenseman, the first time ever you have a 4 to 5 minute shift in one period. Incredible. So I've got one name left I got to figure out. It's not Hamonic?
No, it's not. I mentioned
it Axel?
Earlier. It is.
Oh no, not my beautiful baby boy.
It's 7%.
Oh no.
Whew. Revs and Roddy's throws out there. 7% is Soderblom.
Oh
no, he's throwing fisticuffs, man.
Revs, you know what? That's another bid for comment of the episode. Any mention of my 6'9" beautiful baby boy, and you get a bid. I like that.
Any one of these gentlemen would have improved our zone.
Connor Murphy.
Here.
Oh wait, how many first round picks did it cost for Connor Murphy? Matt, how many?
0.
Oh, who asked for him?
Mike did.
Yes, I did. Bingo.
It's really small, but you could have improved over Axel with that 30. Gotta squeeze in here. 37% would have improved 30% over Axel. And you wouldn't have had to give up a first and a second and a couple of prospects for Mr. Falk. So yeah, that one hurts. But also, we were talking about Dougie and Mike. Obviously Quinn Hughes here would have solved a lot of problems with his 96%.
Yeah, no kidding.
Exit rate.
Number 2 defenseman in the whole league. Okay.
Yeah, you had some options here. None of them were really taken advantage of. It's okay. Look, this is just going to get more depressing, and I think we want to get back into narratives here, but we can't exit the zone. And there was also a mention here too, like we are 2 years deep into not being able to forecheck and create rush offense or forecheck offense. Another couple of points brought up again. Go find that hockey psycho video.
Are you able to enlarge that graphic or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it is kind of funny. I loved that he highlighted Elmer Soderblom as one of the better recovered dump-ins per 60 for the Detroit Red Wings. Of course, no longer on the team. Now, Marco Kasper still leading the way. Forecheck pressures per 60, but not a lot of recovered dump-ins per 60. But ultimately, when he measured this out, Hockey Psycho, for the rest of his video, he just kind of scored out like who's at the top of this list. Well, you've got your Buffaloes, you've got your Tampas, you've got your Carolinas. And that's where these games are like won and lost. And we don't have anybody on this team that's doing it. And this is 2 straight seasons is basically what he was presenting. So when I make this statement of like, is it just March? That's kind of what I'm trying to say here is like, I don't know. This is a couple straight seasons. I think we're due. So yeah, I did want to kind of, we talked about Philly, we talked about Pittsburgh, but we do have Todd and the reaction from the team, I kind of wanted to touch on for a little bit because we are hitting an hour. But Mike, I don't know. Do you want to read Todd, and then I can pull up Patrick Kane's reaction if you guys haven't seen it?
Yeah.
Can you read that?
These are depressing. Yeah. McLellan just throwing out there. There's teams that are elevating right now, and there's teams that aren't. And right now, we're one of them that aren't. We got time to bleed, essentially. Because I can't be the only one who thinks he sounds like Jesse the Body Ventura. Because I think we may have just lost Matt here. Is he?
No, I'm here.
I thought we lost you. Okay.
No.
I don't know what else Todd's really going to do. I think it's just going to get to the point where he's going to slip up and say something that makes him mad about Yzerman, and he's just going to get fired, and he'll just be gone, and we'll just be happy for him to be free of this nightmare. Well,
I still liked the take of like, why do we think this is all about like, is Todd going to hang on? Does Todd want to stay?
Would you want to stay?
Right.
This sucks. I wouldn't want to be here. It's a nightmare.
Let me know if the audio doesn't come through. So we're gonna chance this here.
You're gonna do audio? Man,
we're gonna do audio.
Get taken down from the internet.
I heard those comments directly to our face or whatever it is, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you can use as a player, you can use that any way you like, right? I mean, but I think we're kind of focused on what's going on in this room and not really any outside noise. I don't know if we've heard those comments directly to our face or.
So whose comments did he mean? Like media, fans, or McLellan?
The question was about this comment. And he says, Todd hasn't said that to my face. And then he says, we're worried about what's going on in this room. And as much as we've talked about Dylan Larkin, I mean, it just kind of feels like there's an issue here too of just like, if that truly is the case, if the way I'm interpreting this is correct, that there's a case of him losing the room, and I wouldn't say that's a Todd problem. I think it just comes back to a roster problem.
So GLJ is also echoing. He's saying, yeah, he thinks that it was referring to Todd. So.
Oh, you didn't believe me, but you'll believe GLJ?
Finally, a source I can trust. GLJ, I appreciate you hopping in.
Not the video I pulled?
No.
You can't trust the video. Matt, cut it.
GLJ, brother. GLJ, brother. Friend of the show. Give me that, GLJ. And I have a few comments here, too. Around the Fur's been cooking today. Just saying, what's wrong with DeBrincat? He seems to be the only guy who tries. Yeah, what's wrong with this guy? You know what I mean? Like,
no,
you don't fit. You don't fit in, dude.
Nerd.
No. Get with the program, man. We're just wearing jerseys out here, brother. What are you doing?
He's the only guy who tries. Pantsed. Oh, come on, guys.
I'm just trying hard. I'm trying to make it to the playoffs.
Look at you with that weird helmet that makes your face look flat like a pug. Hey, you guys are so mean to me.
Hey, why are pugs catching strays?
Because you're here and you like pugs. It was the first dog that came to mind.
Anyway.
I don't know how to bully.
Around the Fur, clearly a pug fan, says Larkin, Larkin. Why did I say Larkin, the last name I wanted to say? DeBrincat, he shoots, he's feisty, and he scores almost all of our goals. It does seem that way. He's the only player I don't hate right now. Couldn't have said it better myself.
I mean, this comes back. I like this point. Nothing wrong with DeBrincat. He's a great player. Lead you to a cup? I don't think so. And that's from SRM Scott.
Yeah, I mean, I love him on the team. I just wish he wasn't the number one player. It's just really tough when your best player is a little fella. It's hard.
We have a lot of guys that like the fear here is forgetting that a guy like what is it? Bobby McCann, who left the Maple Leafs, is like, oh, I'm scoring a bunch of goals now. But the Maple Leafs aren't kicking themselves thinking like, oh, we just let go of a superstar. The guy's just getting the opportunities. And I think DeBrincat's a guy who takes advantage of the opportunities, but to Scott's point, that's just not the guy that you build around. Like, this is a piece that we have in place. All right, what's Mike laughing at?
Oh, just Dan B. He's been watching this show for years, and he's just sad because the Todd voice is not as fun as our Penguin voice. For not Blashill, who was it?
Lalone.
Lalone. Yeah. I couldn't think of Lalone. Yeah, that one was fun to do.
All right. Well, I think we're getting ready to sail off. We've been negative enough here, but deservedly so. I think a lot of times we're negative and we apologize, but this is ridiculous.
I do want to throw some more flowers for Around the First Way because I really like their comments today. Just saying, I don't know why I'm torturing myself with these stats. I swore I wouldn't watch anything Red Wings related after that Philly game. A sadist. But that's the thing. Like, it's like this weird March voodoo that we can't break right now. But I don't know. They're right there. They got games against Columbus. They got some poo-poo games. They could still squeak into the playoffs. It's still mathematically not eliminated. And I guess I'm still gonna watch because there's the Piston games are fun to watch because they're an incredible team that gives a crap every single night and they beat you up no matter which of their starters is missing. You can't even tell if they're missing starters. But this Red Wing thing, it's like I have to. It's just this level of incredulity that I can't even fathom. Like, we're gonna blow it again, but it's right there. It's that South Park of remember you had to heroin hero. Remember that? I gotta get the dragon. Dad, you never get the dragon, but he's right there. I can reach the dragon. So the dragon is right. It's right there, Matt. We're at 86 points. We just gotta win a couple more games, go on a little winning streak. I almost got the dragon. I almost got him.
Is there any part of you that just wants us to be put out of our misery? Like last night, when we're losing and I'm watching the other teams around us also lose, I was kind of like, oh, come on. Just chop the head off, man. Like, let's end this. But we'll end this here by just sort of summarize. Like, this is unfortunately so very well within reach.
I almost got the dragon.
It's right there. And like Andrew Kopp said, Mike, this was the line I told you I couldn't wait to tell you that he actually said this.
Matt's going to drop the mic to end the episode. I hope you guys are buckled in.
And instead of the last month being this time, Andrew Kopp announced that, Mike, it's crunch time. 8 games left. Like, forget the fact that you could have made this a non-issue. Well, Mike, 8 games left. It's crunch time.
Oh. Starting now.
Right now.
We got to end this episode. It's way too long. Dude, remember Jim Leland being like, all that rah-rah horse shit doesn't really work. You just got to go out there and hit home runs. Kopp. You just gotta go do it, man. You gotta go bang some bodies and put some pucks in nets, brother. Let's go. What are we doing?
Yeah, this is more. That's a podcast line, Kopp. That's not your line. That wasn't your line to deliver.
All right, this was a fantastic episode. I loved all the comments today. We had some new people throwing in some new stuff. I'm really pumped for next week to go through this all over again.
No, real quick. No name. We're glad to have you on the show. He throws out there. It's not negative. It's just all of our eyes are seeing the same thing again with literally the same crew. And Around the Fur again. Another new one in the chat here. Very happy to have you. Around the Fur, some hot takes here, man. Larkin seems to care more about his own personal Olympic glory and partying with goofs like Cash Patel and leading his team to the playoffs. He also throws out there, I'll still watch too, but all this Red Wing talk makes me need a big long nap. Keep up the good work, guys. Be positive for
Appreciate
me too,
it, brother.
Please.
We'll see you
Thanks
next
for coming
week.
aboard, everybody. Okay. No, all right. No name. This might be comment of the episode. We got him right where we want him. Cop, probably.
Oh, no. And
Oh,
then
man.
Jim, the elder statesman, just reminding us none of the Tigers are hitting except for that 19-year-old kid who's doing his best DeBrincat impression. So we should go out there and try to win, right, fellas? No, Butters. Get your ass to the back of the dugout. Stop trying to score runs.
I'm not ready to trash the Tigers, but that batting practice session that Verlander threw for the Diamondbacks the other day, that was rough.
Oh, no. But yeah, McGonigal looks great, Jim. We got to trade him immediately to a real team. Good Lord. That is some terrible batting besides him.
Just think all the
Like when you watch a
prospects
guy
you
with
pick
a
up.
real swing, like it's compact, there's power, it's you could tell immediately. It's like the Cabrera swing. Like it just looks good. You know what I mean?
Why is it so hard in hockey?
He can field, he can run. I don't know.
Find a 19-year-old kid that can play the sport. All right, guys, we're going to sail off. Thanks for coming aboard. We will, I don't know, maybe we'll see you next week. Maybe.
Oh, we will. We're going to be talking Flyers, Rangers, Wild, Columbus. You know what? You guys know I'm going to get sucked into buying those GD Columbus tickets. So there you go.
All right, we'll see you guys. We'll get
see you guys in Columbus.
Mike.
Yeah.
Live.
We're coming. Oh, yeah.
We'll see you. All right, see you guys.